Heidi has been busy playing with the Stamperia Forest collection, and this is just gorgeous. You can see every single sheet on the product page at paperwishes.com. In addition to the 10 papers and the 55 cutouts that are in the papers, there are also 65 die cuts. So you're going to be seeing lots of creativity using all of these in the Forest collection. We invite you to come play with us. Here is Heidi's first card, and I absolutely love her edition of the hammered gold paper. It is right here, and that's what it looks like. It's 8.5 by 11. The other thing she's done is using the papers. Now let me open up the paper pad, and I'll show you the sheet that she used right here. So she's taken this great big tree and has placed it on the left part of her paper. She tore some strips of the hammer gold, inked the edges. I'll show you that in just a second. Now on the back side of this sheet, there is a sheet with all of this white bark, and that's what she's used over to the opening side of her card. Just really, really smart. On the back of her card, same thing. She used this same paper and another strip of the hammered gold. Okay, let me close this up and come back to the card. Now, Heidi took the hammered gold and she tore the edge. Now, because she wanted to see the edge, she tore it toward her, as I'm about to do. No fair folding it. You just have to cut it. You just have to tear it like so. Okay, that's enough tearing for now. Then she inked it. Now she chose the Finesse by Spectrum Noir. This is an alcohol-proof ink pad. This is the Pebble color, and it's a soft brown. And she used the blending tools, the blending brushes, to just color those. And it just takes down the gold paper that it's in, just so it's a little more into the brown tones like the rest of the card. So that works so easily and so nicely. Now let me slip these over and we'll go back to our card. This is one of the die cuts. Remember, I said there were 65 of them. This is another. Forest Trees is another of the die cut. This was a surprise to me because this is our gingham ribbon set, and I wouldn't have really expected gingham to be used, but it works beautifully. And then she also has added a hi. On the inside of her card, there is a hello. Now that comes from the More Greetings Dazzles. Now this is a pack of 5 sheets. The same imagery is cut into them, into black, white, gold, silver, and this brown. And she has elected to use the brown, which just works so well with this color combination. These are die cuts. This is a cutout from the book, and it works just beautifully, don't you think? Very nice. Nice to have something that could also go for masculine cards. That's always something that's kind of a struggle sometimes. Now let me show you her next card. This is really gorgeous. Look at that. Now, Heidi has used 2 papers out of the book, and you can see this fox is right here. Now, let's see, let me get that paper for you. Let me see. And I thought I would turn right to it. And here we go. So, right here is where the birds are. Okay, so that part she put down on top of the part with the fox. Where's the fox? Well, it's on the back side of that same paper. There you go. So she's placed this down and then placed this one. In the gallery, you're going to see all the sizes and the directions, so that will work beautifully for you. Let me close this up. Now, jute works beautifully with this combination of papers called Forest, and there are these are 72-inch lengths of jute, so that's going to work nicely. This is another of the die cuts, but do you notice those circles? Aren't they pretty? Well, Heidi has chosen our brand new Wreath for All Seasons. This is something that you will use again and again and again, and Heidi has done it here. Now you remember that hammer gold paper? Well, she used this to die cut the wreath, and you might think that that's going to be really hard to attach, but Heidi has a secret. Well, not too big of a secret. She used the sticky specs. That's right. So what you do is die cut your piece, then pull this piece back, this plastic liner, place your die cut piece on here, and there's millions of micro dots on here of adhesive. Press this down, then lift up your die cut and simply place it on your paper or your project. So she's done one out of the hammer gold. She's done another one down here also out of the hammer gold. Isn't that pretty? Now, the same more greetings dazzles are used here with deepest sympathy. I think I said that that was one of the die cuts. This is something else that's new. Let me get our sticky specs out of the way. And this is from Buttons Galore. This is a gold and silver button collection. Now this is going to be changed, not with every package, but many packages are different. So you're going to get tons of these. Yes, this is a whole package. And this one also happens to have the same button that Heidi used. Now you might find that the exact one that she used is not in your package, but there's going to be tons of them. So something will work, something will be a similar size and a similar look. So I just wanted you to know about that. And doesn't it look really nice on this card? Like I said, the jute really plays well with the forest. Heidi has a wonderful technique that she's used, and she's used again and again, and yet it just is so good. She takes a piece of ribbon, or in this case jute, several strands of jute, folds them in half, attaches the fold to the card, and then wraps the other end at the back of her paper before she attaches it onto her card. That way she has this V that's really, really distinctive. Now the inside of her card, same thing. She's using another area of that fox paper, and she's got more of the hammered gold wreath and then a tan wreath, and this is all matted onto the hammered gold. There is a die cut and more of the jute. I just love the card. I think it's very, very good and a great technique for using some of the other forest papers. Now let's go into an easel card. And here it is. Very fun that this has the scalloped border, and it's a shaped card. To make that shaped card, Heidi has used our new 12 circles and scallop dies. By the way, the price on these is really, really good. And this is going to be something you're going to use forever and ever. So what Heidi did is she first cut out brown cardstock to make her card base. She then folded it in half and die cut it out of the large scallop cutting die. Then she opened up the card and folded just the front in half, and that makes the easel to hold our little easel card. Then she cut another piece of brown, positioned it on her front, and then die cut a circle out of this paper. Now it happens to be this paper, which is an all-over pattern of leaves. The squirrel and the Imagine are cutouts from the book, just like the Natural Vibes is a cutout from the book. And then this is the same leaf paper that she used on the front. Now the other thing that she used is some of the cutouts, some of the leaves from the paper she cut out, and then she went over it with the Spectrum Noir gold glitter pen, and she just simply went over it, and that's where you're getting that really pretty gold, kind of glittery, but not too sparkly look right there. And that just works really nicely. for the front of her card and also on the inside. You see those green jewels? Well, that comes from the Hunky Dory Diamond Sparklets. This is the green shimmer pearls. You can see just a whole big package of them, and that's how that comes. This is also a ribbon out of that same gingham collection that Heidi used. Okay, so we have some very different looks to our cards. We're about to get a really different look again, and that's with this card. Isn't that fun? This raspberry paper is, of course, in the Forest Paper collection. And let me just show you how this opens. Kind of opens differently. We're opening on the right and then on the left, and there's a greeting on the inside. So let me show you how she did this, because I think it's really, really clever. Now, first she started with a blank card. Heidi likes to use our standard 5 by 6.5 cards, but what she did is she cut it down to be 5 inches by 3.5, and the fold is over on the left. Then she cut 1.25 inches off the front, just the front. I'll show you why in just a second. Then Heidi took our 12 oval and scallop cutting dies and took the largest one and die cut 2 ovals out of it, just like this. Now, she did it in white, but I've got it in tan here just so you can see it when I put it on top. Now, these are going to go over the card, so we need to take part of it and score it. So we measure 1.25 inches from the point, the longest point in, and then we score it. So use the bone folder to just press on that and score it. And you do the same thing on each one. Again, 1.25 inches, score it, and fold it, okay? Now, one of them is going to get attached to the front of the card, and it's going to wrap around to the back like this. And the reason why you cut off part of that front is so that none of it is peeking behind this oval. And if any of it does peek out, just simply trim it, and that will be fine. So this is glued to the back. Now, this one, you're going to flip over. It too is going to get glued to the back of the card, and it's going to wrap on top. Okay? Now, the next thing that Heidi did is she cut out 2 more ovals out of the red Jupiter paper. Now, this is a glimmer paper, and we are including it in the money saver, just adding that so you've got it. She cut the 2 more same oval shape and glued it to the white one. Okay, remember, this is white, but do not glue it to the back. Let that be for a minute. Same thing on the other layer. Glue the red on top, but don't glue it over this flap, okay? So then, why did she do that? Well, remember I talked about her technique for doing the ribbon or twine? Well, she's done it again here. And I was surprised. I had forgotten that the red and white baker's twine is part of our red ribbon collection. In fact, let me see. There it is. You can see it. So that was a fun thing to discover. So what Heidi did on the front of her card, she folded that in half, zotted down the fold, and then brought them to the back of her card and slipped them underneath the red paper, and then glued it down, and then glue down the other one too. Okay? So that's a nice way to kind of cover those ends. Now, she used that same button collection, and remember, this is the one, and she found she had a red one. Now, in my package, I don't have a red one, but I think I've got some other things that will work. Gee, this might even work if I wanted it to. It's got the green and the red, or I can use something else that will be just fine. Here's something that would work. So at the end of this, then she tied a bow and attached it there. Now, do you see that shiny piece right there? There's a dazzle. Let me show you right here. There's more. And on the inside, there's even more. and she used the Be My Sweetie Dazzle collection. Now there are 144 dazzles in this package. Now you might think of it for Valentine's Day, but you know what? This has a lot of just very sweet sentiments, and this is a 3-pack. So there's the red one that she used. She did mat this on the gold metallic paper and just trimmed along the excess, and has these hanging down from the top. I think that's really fun. So you can see that the raspberries can also have a really different look to them. Everything I've shown you is from the forest papers from our friends at Stamperia. That also including their set of die cuts that I have thrown all over the table here, but you can see them. Now, many of the things that Heidi used are down below, and you can see them if you just click on it. If you are watching this on YouTube, please head over to paperwishes.com, because there's a money saver and we want you to be able to take advantage of it. Those of you who are here at paperwishes.com, look on the right side of your screen. You'll see the money saver, and it's just a nice value, and that's our way of saying thank you. By the way, thank you for joining us and for being part of the Paper Wishes family.